What comes to mind when you hear the word Kaizen? Maybe productivity hacks, self-improvement tips, or some corporate strategy Toyota uses to squeeze out more efficiency. Most people assume Kaizen is just about small tweaks to get more done. But the real meaning goes much deeper. Today, I'll show you what Kaizen actually is and how the 1% rule works underneath it. Here's the surprising part. Even in Japan, many people have lost touch with the roots of this idea. They've reduced it to a business tool or a life hack. But once you understand the deeper logic, you find something practical that modern life is missing. If you want to change your habits without leaning on willpower and instead build a system that holds up over time, stay with me. On this channel, we go deep into the history, philosophy, and traditions of Japan. If that's your thing, subscribe and come along. Kaizen has been part of Japanese culture for centuries, but the world only noticed after World War II. Japan was rebuilding from almost nothing. American consultants taught quality improvement methods to Japanese factories. But here's what matters. The Japanese didn't just copy them. They reshaped those methods into something of their own and called it Kaizen. The word breaks into two parts. Kai means change. Zen means good. Together, Kaizen means continuous improvement, the ongoing pursuit of getting better. But most people stop at the surface. Kaizen was never really about factories. It became a way of living. So let's be clear about the mistake people make. They think Kaizen means doing small things every day, and that's it. But the real shift runs deeper. It's not about doing more. It's about changing how you see yourself and your relationship with time. In Japanese thinking, there's real respect for the process of becoming, not just arriving. They don't sprint toward perfection. They pay attention to the journey. Think about a swordsmith in Kyoto. He doesn't forge a blade in a day. He heats the steel, folds it, hammers it, and repeats hundreds of times. Each fold looks tiny, pointless on its own. But after hundreds of them, you get one of the strongest, most beautiful objects ever made. That's Kaizen. Not the dramatic change, but quiet, repeated effort that turns something ordinary into something extraordinary. It runs on patience, humility, and accepting that anything great gets built slowly. Now the 1% rule, because it comes straight from that logic. If you get just 1% better every day, then after 1 year, you're not slightly better. You're roughly 37 times better than where you started. That's compounding. But here's what people miss. The 1% rule isn't a formula. It's a mindset. It takes the pressure off being perfect today. It's about trusting the process to do the work. In Japan, that trust has a name. Shinyo, meaning faith or trust. Not faith in something outside you, but trust in your own effort adding up over time. When you apply the 1% rule with that trust, you stop punishing yourself for not being where you want to be yet. You stop comparing your day 1 to someone else's day 1000. Instead, you focus on one small action today, just one, and trust that repeating it with care will carry you somewhere that matters. So, if Kaizen is this simple, why don't more people do it? The answer is in how modern life trains our minds. We're surrounded by big results. We celebrate overnight success. Social media feeds us an endless stream of people who seem to achieve everything fast and effortlessly. That creates a trap. It makes us believe that if progress isn't fast, it isn't real. So when we don't see quick results, we quit. That's the opposite of Kaizen. Japanese culture has a word for this, gaman. It means enduring something hard with patience and dignity. Staying on the path even when you can't see the finish line. Kaizen asks you to practice gaman, to get through the slow days, when your 1% feels invisible, when nobody notices what you're doing. Because those quiet, unseen moments are exactly when you're being forged, just like that blade in Kyoto. So how do you actually bring this into daily life? The method is simple and practical. Start with the smallest possible action. If you want to read more, don't commit to a book a week. Commit to 1 page a day. If you want to exercise, don't promise an hour at the gym. Promise 5 minutes of stretching each morning. If you want a new skill, watch 1 short lesson and practice 10 minutes. Make the action so small it almost feels ridiculous. Here's why that works. When something feels easy, your mind doesn't fight it. No fear, no pressure, no resistance. And once you start, the action grows on its own. 1 page becomes 5. 5 minutes of stretching turns into a walk. 10 minutes of practice turns into an hour of focus. That's not willpower, that's Kaizen. You're not forcing yourself to change, you're letting yourself change. And those two things produce completely different results. So the real Kaizen is probably very different from what you've been told. It's not a productivity tool, it's not a business strategy. It's a way of seeing yourself and your life with patience, humility, and trust. You don't need to change everything at once. You just need to change one small thing today, then again tomorrow, and again the day after. Now more than ever, it's worth recognizing the real Kaizen that comes from inside you, not the shallow version sold as a quick fix. I've put a Kaizen habit book in the description you can start using right away. Thanks for watching.